government prescription of Palestine action and the banning of social media access for under 16s aren't two separate news stories. Look at them as a coordinated clampdown on our right to speak out. While the British state wraps its actions in the wholesome language of protecting children, it's quietly building a system of absolute communication control. To understand why this is happening, you have to look at who's holding the keys to Downing Street. When Jeremy Corbyn shocked the establishment by winning 40% of the vote in 2017, the political right, panicking within the Labour Party, didn't just mount an internal challenge, they launched a targeted counterinsurgency. That panic birthed Labour Together, a highly disciplined faction that engineered the purge of the left, marginalised independent media, and normalised digital deplatforming. This isn't an accidental policy shift, it's a Blairite wish list being systematically executed by the machine politics that built it. And the mask is slipping. The Court of Appeal has just upheld the state's decision to ban the direct action group Palestine Action under the Terrorism Act, but look beneath the judgment and you find a mountain of desperate state errors. When Palestine Action exposed UK complicity in genocide, the state's first instinct wasn't to debate, it was to weaponise counter-terror laws. The High Court itself stepped in, ruling that the government's ban was completely unlawful and disproportionate, but the state didn't back down. It dragged the case to the Court of Appeal and forced the terror label through anyway. Consider the staggering hypocrisy of this label. Just days ago, a judge handed down unprecedented prison sentences to 4 activists for a raid on an Elbit Systems weapons factory near Bristol, ruling that their actions carried a terrorism connection. But what were they actually trying to stop? Elbit manufactures the very drone technology deployed in Gaza, where human rights monitors have documented quadcopters broadcasting audio recordings of crying children and screaming babies to lure civilians out of their homes before shooting them. The Prime Minister claims he wants to protect children from scrolling on their phones, yet his state is locking up activists for the crime of disabling weapons designed to lure and slaughter children. By any logical moral standard, these activists weren't committing terrorism. They were taking direct action to prevent it. They were stopping a far greater crime. And it doesn't stop with Palestine Action. Establishment figures like Lord Walney, the government's independent advisor on political violence, are openly calling for the proscription of groups like People Against Genocide. Walney, an unelected peer with deep ties to the defence industry lobbying, represents an entire political class that views peaceful democratic opposition to atrocities as a threat to national security. The result of this frantic crackdown? Over 3,300 ordinary people swept up in terror-related arrests just for showing solidarity or standing up for jury equity. The state has effectively redefined opposition to corporate-backed atrocities as an act of terror. But what happens when the public uses the internet to expose these state errors? What happens when independent social